when we're looking at overall brain health, I'm getting much better at drawing this part of it. It used to be very ugly. Now it's respectable. So, what we're looking for, at least what I'm looking for in overall brain health. So if we have our 4 normal basic lobes, we have our frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe. Then you have the, I call it an ice cream cone. You got the midbrain, pons, and the medulla. Then you have your cerebellum back here. So everything besides this midbrain is like rest and digest. It's a calming aspect of the brain. Okay? The midbrain is your fight or flight the majority of the time. Okay? So that fight or flight, we use it if there's a bear coming, you gotta punch it or run away. That's kind of the easiest way. Like survive to the next day or get eaten. So everything else that's not this midbrain is kind of not so much attacking, but working at this to try to keep it calm. It's kind of like a bunch of leashes, like holding back a big dog. Like, hey, okay, everything's fine. But if we get an injury and say we injure our frontal lobe, okay, with a concussion, or say on top of it, and the majority of the time you get a concussion, it also affects the cerebellum. Now we start losing these leashes here, which then allows this to be more like free, and so it activates a little bit more. So normally what I'm looking for, and again, you can't ever put a number on any of this, but what I'm looking for is I want a 50-50 split, roughly, of kind of like rest and digest and fight or flight. Okay, but if we start losing leashes here to that frontal lobe or from that cerebellum, this number is going to go down because we don't have as much input. Okay, so now instead of it being a 50-50, we might be now at a 30 and then a 70. Rest and digest and fight or flight. Okay, when we're in a fight or flight, the rest and digest system doesn't really work that well. Rest and digest is, again, kind of like I said, it's what digests our food, it's what helps to produce hormones, it moves blood, it literally does everything. Fight or flight literally is just fight or run away. So if we're in a fight or flight the majority of the time, the rest of our system's not going to work, and it's just a matter of time before it starts to break down. Kind of like where we should have been here, but we end up down here because we had our brain injury. We should be up here, healthy, but now we're down here sick from whatever, migraines, vertigo, dizziness, all because this system stops working, so now it doesn't integrate well with this. So now this system doesn't work, which leads to vagus nerve, which vagus nerve is digestion. So now we don't digest our food well. We have constipation, diarrhea, stomach pain after we eat. This one goes into here as well. Cranial nerve number 5, head and face pain. Doesn't work very well, so now I have chronic headaches. We could have trigeminal neuralgia. Hopefully not, because that's the worst thing ever. That's so terrible that the wind blows on your face. They call it the suicide disease. Most people would rather commit suicide than deal with it. So there's things like that. We have parietal lobes. We don't understand our sensory system. We don't know where we are in space, so we smack things. We hurt our knees. Kristen asked, because last time I did, I really kicked the table. Give a real good example of that. But on top of it, we don't understand where we are in space. We don't understand where we are in space. It can lead to anxieties. It can lead to nervousness. All of that. We can have frontal lobe issues. We don't make good choices. Now we're doing things that we normally wouldn't have done before. The way we act, the way we talk, who we date, quitting a job when we shouldn't quit a job, those types of things, because we don't make good choices. We don't understand consequences, whether they're good or bad. All of that because our fight or flight system started taking over. There's so many different areas that if this fight or flight is going crazy, like it's kind of like, I don't know, what's a good example? It's kind of just one of those things you don't know what could be, but literally anything could end up happening. Kind of also depends on what you're predisposed to, diet-wise, environment-wise, stress levels with home and work and family, all those types of things. But if we're at a 50-50, our body's able to handle it. Our body's able to understand, hey, this is okay, I don't have to stress about this, I don't have to worry about that. But if we can't, and we're in a fight or flight, we become very reactionary. We become angry, we make quick, abrupt decisions, we change our minds, we're unmotivated. all this type of stuff, and it could have all been because of an accident, even like Tandy said, 10 years ago. And we're just now figuring out today that we're not where we should be. But the great news is we can rehab it. We can rehab that brain the same way you rehab the shoulder or the knee. You can rehab it and get it back to where we need it to be. It's just a matter of finding it and fixing it. And then the big one is as hard as it takes work. Kind of like the quote up there that Jen put up there, nothing worth having comes easy. Fixing that brain, getting back into the swing of things, it takes effort, it takes time. It takes effort on your own part, not just on my part being the doctor, but on your part doing exercises at home, making sure we're avoiding certain things that we might find as triggers, whether they be loud noises, bright lights. Sorry.